Alright, welcome back. 1.2. This week's focus is on two things. Number one, we're going to continue to build our skill with the distributive property, and we're going to learn how to use the least, or find the least common denominator or least common multiple, again, which is what I'm going to call it from here on out. We'll start with the least common multiple. Pay attention to the words because they tell you exactly what you're looking for. Consider the list of multiples below. So here's the list of multiples for 3, for 4, and for 6. The question, what is the smallest, which means least, multiple they have in common, which means that all of them have it. So checking here, 3 is not in all the lists, 6 is in both of these, but it's not in this one. 9, no. 12, hey look, 12 is in here, here, and here. So here's the thing, they both also have a 24, but 24 is not the smallest of the possibles. So least common multiple means you want the smallest number that is a multiple of the list that they both have in common. And so in that case, the least common multiple of 3, 4, and 6 would be 12. Alright? The reason most people have an issue with this is because they're not great with memorizing multiplication facts, as it says here. But again, we are not asking you to memorize multiplication facts. We're simply asking you to think and to try. You have a calculator around. I've shown you calculators online that you can use, so you can type in as much as you want to. There is no reason that you can't answer this because, again, it's not a tough topic. It's just a topic that requires a little bit of effort, and so you just kind of got to get over yourself and get that done. If you have a calculator, which you do, you can create lists of multiples of any number. So, you know, if you were to create a list of 6 multiples for 21, so let's say 21 was my number and you wanted the first 6, you would do 21 times 1, 21 times 2, and so 42, 21 times 3. There's your third, 21 times 4. There's your fourth, 21 times 5. There's your fifth, 21 times 6. So those are your multiples right there. There's no excuse why you can't find those numbers because all you have to do is use your calculator and type them in. So as long as you can make the list of multiples, I also think that you actually can pick them out. Because the process is so straightforward, the only way not to know how to do it is just choosing not to try. Again, yesterday we learned to make a list of multiples for the largest number first, but do we really have to make the whole list? The question is, couldn't we check while we make the list? Because remember, I'm trying to help you get better at this, so I don't need you to do a ton of work. I just want you to do enough work that is there. So consider 4 and 6. Talking through this, we would make a list of the number 6 because 6 is bigger. So the first multiple of number for 6 is 6. So you ask yourself, as soon as you know the first number is 6, can 4 be multiplied to make 6? And if you need to, you would do 6 divided by 4. You see that it doesn't, so the answer is no, so keep moving forward. The second multiple of 6 is 12. Ask yourself, can 4 be multiplied to make 12? The answer after you check that is yes, so therefore you know your number is 12. You found your number 12 and you can stop. Notice it only took 2 numbers in our list to get there instead of having to make the full 10. Try to add that logic to your process because the more you use common sense, the better math will be for you. Again, practice and review. What I am going to do is look at 9. So I'm going to say the first number for 9 is 9. 9 divided by 6 does not work. Or again, if you're good with your numbers, you know that 6 does not go into 9. The second number for 9 is, excuse me for 1 second. The second number for 9 is 18. And I'm pretty sure, because I'm pretty good with numbers, that 18 goes into 6, or 6 goes into 18, which means 18 is your number. So notice I didn't have to put 9, 18, 27, 34, whatever, and finish that whole list. Once I got to a number that worked for this, I found my number. Alright? 3/8 and 1/2. Again, I'm going to make a list for 8. Does 2 go into 8? Yes, it does, because 2 times 4 is 8, which means, again, I already found my number. There is no need to continue once you find it. So again, add that to your process, because if you try to do that, you'll find out that things get a lot easier, much faster. 1/4 and 1/9. I'm going to make a list for 9. 4 does not go into 9 because 4 is even and 9 is not. Next number would be 18. Does 4 go into 18? I don't think so. I think 4 goes to 20, which means that it would be, 18 wouldn't work. And again, just to prove it to you, when you divide, you get a decimal. 27, again, I don't think 4 goes into 27 because 4 would never become odd. The next number is 36, and I'm pretty sure 36 works. And it does. So your number would be 36. 5 and 7, again, I'm going to count by 7s, or if you like 5s, you can count by 5s. It doesn't really matter either way with that. I just usually pick the bigger number because it moves faster. 5 can't go into 7 because remember 5, 10, 15, 20 doesn't work. Next number would be 14. 5, 10, 15 doesn't work. Next number would be 21. Again, that's 7 times 3. I'm just not doing it on the calculator because I want to save you a little bit of time. But again, you can do that on your calculator as you go. 5 doesn't go into 21. The next number would be 28. I know 5 doesn't go into 28. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Notice how I passed that up. The next number would be 35, and I'm pretty sure 35 is it because it ends in a 5. So 35 would be my last number. That would work. So what you saw was here 7 times 5 is 35, so that worked. 9 times 4 is 36, so that worked. But 9 times 6 is 54, but that's not the number you used. 8 times 2 is 16, but that's not the number you used. So therefore you need to make sure you at least know the process, because there is no shortcut for finding those things. Alright? So going to our distributive property review, this time today you're going to actually have 3 numbers. Just continue what we learned before. So again, 4 meets 2x, 4 meets negative 3y, 4 meets 8. Multiply those out, that'll be 8x. This would be negative 12, because remember, a positive times a negative is negative, but bring down that y. And then 4 times 8 is 32. And that's that. Alright. Here, 7 meets 5m. And 7 meets 6n, I'm sorry, negative 6n. And 7 meets negative 4p. Remember, you have to pay attention to the sign on that number. That actually is important. 7 times 5 is 35. Bring down your m. 7 times negative 6 is negative 42. Bring down your n. Again, it's positive times a negative is negative. Positive times a negative is negative. 7 times 4 is 28 with a p attached. And that would be your answer. Alright. So again, hopefully you're copying these things down, because not copying them down means you're going to ask me how to do it. Then I'm going to say, well, use your notes, and you're going to say, well, I don't have notes, and then you're going to be stuck, because as soon as I ask you for your notes and you don't have them, I'm going to say, watch the video and take the notes, because I'm not going to help you if you did not copy notes. Here, negative 3 meets 8c, and remember, use a plus to connect them. Negative 3 meets 5d, and negative 3 meets negative 7. Being careful here, negative times a positive is negative 24 with a c, because again 8 times 3 is 24. 3 times 5 is 15, but again it's a negative times a positive, so negative 15d. Negative times a negative is positive, and 3 times 7 is 21. Again, verify that on your calculator. That's why I put it in video form, so you can pause it and make sure everything makes sense. If you don't agree with what I'm writing down and you just simply write it and move on, that is all on you. Because again, the reason I put these on video is so that when you get stuck on this question, you can pause it right now. You can take your calculator and say, what is negative 3 times negative 8? Oh, I see where he got the 24. You can type that in and say, oh, I see where he got the 15. But if you don't do that, then again, that's more on your side than mine. Here, negative 9 meets 3a, and negative 9 meets negative 2b, and negative 9 meets negative 4c. And again, you can verify these on your own if you want. You can pause it right now, write the answer, and see if it works. But this ends up being negative 27a, because again, that's negative times a positive. This ends up being a positive 18b. This ends up being a positive 36 with a c, because remember, the variable just kind of comes down with it. Again, be sure to work as lessons are assigned. That way you're not overwhelmed at the end of the quarter. The material is not difficult in small parts. Again, just be sure to ask for help as you need it. And again, if you are asking for help, show me your work. If you did not do the problem, I'm not going to help you with it, because if you don't know how to do the problem, you need to watch the video. So as long as you can show me an attempt, I can help you with your attempt. Even if you go back to the video and watch it as you work through the problem, whatever it is, you have to try first. I cannot help you until you start to try to help yourselves a little bit. But other than that, like I said, that is it, and good luck.